Hey, this is Black to the Future 404, and I'm going to make a video concerning Black History Month. This is going to be my first video, and I figure it would be appropriate for it to be on Black History Month since it is Black History Month. I believe it's very important to highlight our accomplishments and leaders during this month since we have gone through so much, not just here in America, but through all the diaspora. It's unfortunate we don't learn more about other heroes in the diaspora in Latin America, Africa, and blacks in other parts of the world, including Asia during this time. But I would like to give a special thanks to all of our great black leaders and inventors here and abroad, including Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., the Black Panther Party, George Washington Carver, Sheikh Anta Diop, Ivan Van Sertima, um, Dr. Yakanan, John Hope Franklin, John Henry Clark, Thomas Sankara, um, and even Jimmy, who started the Stono Rebellion. Now I want to talk about why I think this month is important. And some people in this country think we're in a post-racial America, but that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, of course, we all know that racism still exists, and black achievements are overlooked all the time. But I think this month is like an important source of pride for black people. Some people think we haven't done anything important and significant in history. So I believe this month is to show that to our own people that we have. Uh, and some black people believe we live in this sort of post-racial society. But the thing they fail to understand is that Barack Obama being president doesn't necessarily mean as much as they think it does. I mean, excuse me, a few blacks succeeding while others are still comparatively behind, I believe that's just tokenism. We have to realize that we still have ways to go uh, and to appreciate the struggles and accomplishments of our ancestors in the past. Uh, we will need Black History Month until there is enough representation of us in our culture, adequate to our population. What I mean by that is our culture, extends into media, how we view social problems and politics. I mean, if I'm watching an Egyptian movie and all I see are tan white people, I feel like there's something wrong with that. And I do think education in this country is compartmentalized. Everything we, I believe everything we learn inside the school or outside should be applicable in everyday life. Otherwise, it is useless. I mean, how long can we misrepresent history in the movie theaters, in television, and even in some textbooks when the knowledge and information is right there? And concerning Black History Month, I think we should also go beyond the token celebration of the month and apply it to our everyday lives and let it revolutionize our minds as Black people and change the culture in our communities and even the greater culture of America. We can never forget and let people tell us we should stop being ourselves. I mean, Jews should never forget the Holocaust because if they do, it can happen again. And so, in effect, we should not forget our struggles, um, how we went through the transatlantic slave trade, Jim Crow, segregation, and even the issues we face today. But I also believe we should not forget our African side of the heritage in history because it has been used deceitfully to make us believe we're primitive or we're inferior to justify our enslavement. So if we don't keep this in mind, our minds will be taken over through subtle propaganda embedded in media and art throughout the culture. You don't have to literally tell someone they are inferior. All you have to do is portray them as fools, slaves, thugs, and anything in the media that's negative. And people will believe that's the only way uh, things are, or that's the only way they can be, and that's the way that things are. Um, and some conditions in poor black communities make people think that, well, black people will never go anywhere, that it'll always be crime and it'll always be violence and it always will be dark and gloomy. But what we have to realize that these things can be changed. And really, black people in our position in the Western world, it's only been true for the past few hundred years with the transatlantic slave trade, colonialism, and other forms of racial inequality like apartheid in South Africa. But before that, Africans had, you know, lots of civilizations, great civilizations. But we have come a long way, but we still got, a long ways to go. But if you don't understand why black history is important, I mean, you really just need to pick up a book and get some perspective because you seriously need to. But that's not just being condescending, but you can find just about anything on the internet, so there's no excuse to be ignorant. I especially hate it when white people complain about how we have Black History Month, but there is no White History Month. White history is celebrated all of the time here. That's all you really learn about in school. And I just hate it when people say those type of things like they don't have it for themselves. Like some people complain about HBCUs, Black History Month, BET, Jet Magazine, Ebony, and even, the usage of the N-word, but it's like they have a grudge or a gripe or something, after the civil rights movement. Like everything is equal now, so you can't have anything to yourselves, but those things like, Jet, Ebony, and HBCUs, those things were started because we wanted to see something that represented us. This country is majority white. I mean, that's changing with immigration, but I still feel like in this society we're still kind of like outcasts, and really we don't separate ourselves from other people. It's really the other way around. We've always been nice to other people. We've always had our hands out, only to be punched in the face. So I feel like we don't need anyone else's validation. And so, if you want to make a comment or make a response to this video, please do. But as far as the trolls are concerned, I mean, if you don't want to engage in intelligent conversation, then don't comment at all. I would delete any racist comment made. And I will also use my own discretion about what comments I will and won't allow. So, have a nice day.